Alright, we're live on YouTube now as well, and it's automatically being recorded, so I don't have to do all that manually. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Edit. Stream settings. Perfect. Alright. Live on both YouTube and Discord now. Let's see, last 50 seconds we're starting to reject. I'm not gonna drop down to the 1 minute time frame. No chance. We took buy side liquidity, so we can pretty much change this to buy side liquidity taking. I marked it out before the stream, those perfect equal highs here paired with the VWAP and our previous day's high right here, this orange line from the ICT all-in-one indicator. We could look at our regular trading hours opening gap as well and drop our new day opening gap. Give it some time to load. And see where we close here. Okay, this is our regular trading hours opening gap. That's where we closed yesterday. And that's where we opened up today. So that's already filled in. Let's get rid of that. This is our new day opening gap. This little gray box right here. And we can see that we closed back above it. I would have liked to see a close above this bearish fair value gap. Because from here, that's all the way back at 355. Every time we traded into it, we've been rejected. We traded into it once, twice, 3 times now. So this would be a nice early confirmation to actually see this being rejected and inverted into a inversion fair value gap to enter long off. Since we already took the buy side liquidity, I'm not really too keen on just jumping in here with price. There's risk to the downside. Well, 5 points should really be fine here if we really want to continue up higher. Take out this Asia equal high buy side liquidity. But we could also be looking at something like we saw yesterday, where all we do is seek and destroy. New York opens up 9:30, where we add take out highs, take out lows, take out highs, take out lows, and take out highs again. But actually yesterday I took a long like this. I also mentioned that on Discord, of this inversion fair value gap right here. After I saw that we took the sell side right here, we took sell side, we immediately pulled back. I entered right on that 50% with my target at the previous day's high. And I decided to, because yesterday was my birthday, had friends and family over, but I saw the opportunity and decided to, why not take it? Take profit target at the previous day's high. Going to leave it sitting at a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Risk 11 points or something like that to make 11 points. And it worked out just fine. Even though it went below the low right here. So let's see what we can get out of the market today. Accumulation, we took sell side and we move away from that aggressively. Potentially leaving behind a new bullish fair value gap. That's overlapping with a 5-minute inversion fair value gap. The only inversion fair value gap inside this last price leg to the downside. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Bullish fair value gap, inversion fair value gap. Low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame, what we could use as our breaker block. Basically this up closing candle. Moving away from this 1 hour and 15-minute time frame bullish fair value gap right here. We've already been speaking about that. 1 hour bullish fair value gap. And another 1 hour bearish fair value gap right here. Let's see if that's just a retracement for us to continue lower. That's why we look for some more confirmation on a lower time frame. Right now, that's pretty hard to tell. 1 more minute for this 5-minute candle to close. Is anyone in a trade right now? Let's see. Hey guys. I hope everyone had a nice Christmas holiday, if you celebrated, of course. The new year is just around the corner. We have today and tomorrow, last 2 trading days of the entire year. Yeah. I'm also not sure if I'm going to take any live trades. We will see. Would have to be a pretty good opportunity. Daily time frame here quickly, just so you guys know what I'm looking at on the daily time frame. Basically just focusing on daily highs and buy side liquidity right here. Not really sure if we're going to get there. Let's see where we close. Looks like we're going to close above our bearish value gap. And we open with a volume imbalance. Let's see how we would play this. This is just my first scale in. We close right here at this old high, at this old buy side. We open up with a bullish volume imbalance. This would become a inversion fair value gap. We have our bullish fair value gap below. Take profit target for me really would be that high of the day. Sell 1. That's exactly what I wanted to see. A close above this inversion of this bearish fair value gap. We even got a volume imbalance. I just, like always, like to go with the flow. Let's see what happens around the midnight level and take this a little bit higher. I think that's actually not too many points from my entry. That's only 5 points. Bearish value gap. Let's see, I would like to try to add to the position if we retrace into this bullish value gap. And if we go below the consequent encouragement of our 1 hour bearish bullish value gap right here, I'm gonna get out of my position. Modify order, we're gonna sell 2 down there. Also look at this reaction. Before 9:30, we tapped the 50% of our 1 hour bullish value gap. We can keep track of that here as well, because we have a 1 hour bearish value gap just above us. And we've also already hit that. Draw it back to the 5-minute time frame. Perfect. Close a few tabs that I don't need open at the moment. Yeah. Low risk here, not risking much. Only 1 contract, and the range today hasn't been the biggest. I mean, that's only 5 points here. I think we can stomach that. Just trying to stay active, look at the charts, see what we get. Last couple of trading days in 2023. See if it still works. All right. I guess there are no questions. One and a half minutes to go, and then we get our first candle close on the 15-minute time frame. So I always like to keep that in mind when trading on a lower time frame. The 15-minute cycle, the 30-minute cycle, and of course the hourly cycle. Did anyone come up with some New Year's resolutions yet for trading year of 2024? What do you want to improve upon, or did you already start to contemplate what you're gonna do better next year around? I certainly did. I'm still refining how I'm gonna set it up. I thought lots about it yesterday, and yeah, just over the holidays, I took some time off, get some distance instead of trading every day. All right, let's see how this candle is going to close. Remember, that's also the 15-minute candle close. If we're gonna leave the 15-minute candle like this, still closing inside this 15-minute bearish, that wouldn't be ideal. So let's see how that's going to close. Yeah, not the best close, to be really honest. We even closed below our 5-minute bullish, back below our inversion fair value gap. I'm already gonna get out with one contract. So we're gonna sell one right here. The other one we're gonna let it run into our stop loss. Sorry. Just managing the risk actively, because yeah, that's not really what I was looking for, but it could be because it's the 28th of December. Just between New Year's and after Christmas. But theoretically, we would anticipate resistance here now. We filled in our 1 hour bearish share value gap, moving away from our 1 hour bullish share value gap right here. Hit the 50%, but we apparently didn't want to continue higher. We took off some risk once we see that it's not really going according to the plan, or at least my idea that this is going to be used as support. If I see it close below it, immediately opening up with a bearish volume imbalance, that's not my best case scenario, so that's why I'm taking off half the size. And if I see, okay, we're aligned again, and now we close immediately back above our initially bullish fair value gap, now inversion fair value gap, I might even consider to add to the position again. Still targeting this buy side. Just like always. Got a few messages. Just want to get funded. Yeah, but the question is how you want to get funded. Cleaning up accounts and taking profits to reset some stock positions. Go sign up for trade day. I'm working on a specific trading plan, how I want to reduce the amount of time I spend in front of the charts, while at the same time boosting the efficiency in that smaller period of time that I'm looking forward to trade within. So for me, that's gonna very likely look like I'm gonna get myself a London session account and a New York session account, because very recently that's what screwed up my trading the most. If I trade both London and New York on the same account, and I made enough profit to really call it a session or almost a day to trade that account, that exact same account again on the same day. I know theoretically it really shouldn't be an issue, but it turned out to be an issue. I would prefer to, like I did it before, trade two separate accounts, one for each session, limited down to maximum 2 trades, starting right after the London Open and right after the New York Open. If my first idea is wrong, of course with my active risk management, I'm not just sitting here waiting for either my stop loss or take profit target to be hit. If I already see prices not moving the way I anticipated to move before I enter the trade, then I cut some risk. So I'm gonna set myself a specific percentage-based profit and max drawdown target for the day, limit it down to maximum 3 trades. And if that's done, that's also when I'm gonna end the live stream, because me sitting here and trading until the time limit is over, it's not really helpful. And those are the things that I thought that hold me back the most. I have my 2 shots per session, sometimes 3. Let's say I managed to break even on the first one instead of basically avoiding a loss. Well, then I don't really have an issue taking a 3rd trade. Let's say it already moves and then we got stopped out at break even, for example. But I definitely want to reduce the amount of trades that I take overall. I think it's for the best. So we close immediately back above our initial bullish fair value gap. That's interesting. So we close below and back above. Here we open with a bearish volume imbalance and we open with another bearish volume imbalance. We're right back inside our new day opening gap here. So theoretically, yeah, that's usually not the signatures I like to see in price when actually trading. This, by the way, is paper trading, so don't get confused. I'm not gonna play my Apex funded accounts on the 28th of December. Not gonna risk anything there. I'm trading on my Funding Pips account, at least on a 100k account. See how it goes. I have 10% room for error. Don't really have to worry about it. It's much calmer compared to the trailing drawdown that you have with a futures funding firm. Or at least with Apex. So we close below and then we close back above it. Kept holding support on this volume imbalance, 15-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame closing in 8.5 minutes. So we also want to, like I said before, if we scalp the lower time frame, always be aware of the 15, 30 and 1 hour cycle above us. So what time is it? Right now it's 9:50, we're inside the macro. The 10 a.m. hourly candle is also going to be a new 4-hour cycle. So yeah, we can anticipate higher time frame traders to engage around this time, around the macro basically. That looked like a liquidity grab to the upside. Could be. Could be. Why this looks like a liquidity grab to the downside. It's not really clear here what's going to happen. Both could happen. I like the Asia session equal highs. That's, in my opinion, a better draw than trying to push through all this consolidation from yesterday. Of course, we also have these previous days low equal lows down here. Let's take a look. Volume point of control. That's where theoretically the majority of traders that position themselves over here would start to step in to protect their positions. Let's take a look at today's volume profile. We're right at the volume point of control right now. So from a gut feeling, I'd say higher prices. Of course, that can be wrong. That's why we're paper trading today. Reading price. Let's take a look at NQ. I think that should still be here over to the right. Let's see where we're at on NQ. Oh, interesting. Yeah. So NQ, what did NQ do here? NQ actually went above today's Asia session high. So big bearish SMT divergence if we look at that right here. But already prior to the market open, so at 8:30, NQ already spent time playing above this level, while ES never did. So paired with that bearish SMT divergence and this market structure shift, taking an entry of any of those bearish fair value gaps here, or even just a breaker block, well, would have worked out nicely. So while NQ worked above the Asia session high prior to the market open, ES only worked liquidity or traded below the Asia session low. So it's almost like if we would invert that chart, it would start to look more similar. So that's interesting. But this doesn't, change my bias, at least for right now. I'm going to see if we can push above these two equal highs. See what we do inside this bearish fair value gap. No questions on YouTube. Still looks like we're pushing. Guys, feel free to ask me questions, especially when it, I don't know. I already tried to ask what your plan is going to be for the new year, if you even have a plan. I think it's really beneficial to have a plan to stick to, like a New Year's resolution, basically. Really trying to work on your biggest, not setbacks, but just your worst traits as a trader, to start working on them. For me, that would be over trading, for example, not knowing when to stop. Let me quickly. Can't find it. Still playing around here. Not much happening. Let's see how we close here. 1 minute to go. Back to our entry. Regarding the question how I will get funded, I guess that's the difficult part. I gotta find a system that I can rely on, which I'm confident in. Yeah, for me, that also started to change. I always looked at a specific system, but now it's kind of shifting towards me being the system, me doing my analysis, and just being confident in myself that I can actually do it. Now that's fine too. Studying how price is moving, doing demo trading, and then taking it one step at a time. Like me, for example, right now, there's not really much in terms of a model, but like the bigger picture for me, not the bigger picture, but the narrative for me to go long fits right now. I have my invalidations, so really if I'm gonna see price go back below the slow, there's no point for me to hold on to this trade. I'm gonna give it a little bit of breathing room. But theoretically, after retracing back into our 1 hour bullish share value gap, moving away from it, if I see it move back into this area, we might just actually end up consolidating here. Before we go anywhere, I would like to see expansion basically here after this consolidation, manipulation, expansion. That's basically what I'm basing the trade on. So our manipulation, we move away from that very aggressively. And now I'm looking for that expansion really into that equal high Asia buy side liquidity. Crypto live streams. Yeah, we can have a couple of crypto community calls for everyone that's interested. I think I already posted some more stuff into the crypto chats a couple of days ago. Yeah. Yeah, Uni is already at $7. Basically looking for the coins that are still accumulating. That's always a good bet. You don't want to enter into something like this injective right now. Like, that ship has sailed. Not interested in it at all. Yeah, we can certainly do that. But I'm not gonna day trade crypto. I think that's... I left that department a couple of years ago already now. Actively day trading crypto. I think it's much, much easier to day trade. Also because you have funding firms, of course, that offer you the capital to do so. I mean, crypto, you just have to... I mean, yeah, sounds super simple. Buy at the right time and not FOMO in. and eventually gonna make some profit. It's not worth scalping 0.2 or 0.5 percentages out of a small little pump or a bigger pump. And it also takes more time because crypto doesn't really work so well in regards to the timing. So there's no such thing as, oh, we're gonna get some sort of manipulation or expansion right at the New York Open at 9:30 a.m. We might see something, but it's not gonna be as significant as it, for example, is on the forex market or the index market. So it's rather tough to organize and schedule your day if you're trying to scalp cryptos. At least that's just my experience. All right, and we are rejecting again from this area. This is kind of boring. We closed above our 15-minute bearish value gap here at least. And now we're returning back into it. 1 hour time frame. I think that's actually our new 1 hour candle. Yeah, that's the 10 a.m. candle. So this is actually new hourly momentum. 10 a.m., 10:05. Let's see what happens. If we might get stopped out here. Looks like it. Just looking at the hourly time frame, how did the previous hourly candle close? Let's hide the ICT all-in-one here quickly. Bounce off this 1 hour bullish value gap. Nice bullish candle here, closing inside our 1 hour bearish fair value gap. Now we pulled back to potentially continue higher, or to take out low and continue lower, or like yesterday, just do the most amount of damage. Take out highs, take out lows, take out highs, take out lows, and then some time around pretty much the end of the day, we're gonna get one quick pump. That's really how they can milk the markets on these low volume holiday trading days, basically. Not that it's a bank holiday, but well, right between Christmas and New Year's Eve. Yeah, I was day trading crypto a long time ago. But it's too hectic. Hundreds of coins, low time frames, that's much harder than what I'm doing right now. Nice rejection. Let's see. The only thing that helps right now is patience. 30 seconds to go. Let's see. No, it's at the very bottom. Maybe head over to the server settings here in the accumulation zone and then make sure you have this setting here enabled. You head over here to the server settings, so accumulation zone, server settings, and then show all channels. If you do not have that enabled, you likely won't see the crypto channel at the very bottom. But it's free, yeah. Well, I was hoping for some more excitement, but I mean, might be the wrong time to expect that excitement. We can see NQ is still just selling off, retracing further and further. But theoretically, if we compare it to ES already did the job here. Theoretically, it already pulled back inside of this 1 hour bullish value gap, and so is NQ. So did NQ now. With the only difference that NQ already formed a new high of the day after this Asia session high right here, and ES didn't really. So of course ES could also just simply continue lower, but I don't know. I still have that little feeling that we could run into this equal high buy side since we've already retraced into our 1 hour bullish value gap and moved away from it with momentum, I'd say. But who really knows? I mean, from here on in Q on a 5-minute time frame, bearish value gap entry right here, continued lower. And any of those two bearish or 3 bearish value gaps actually right here after we shifted market structure. Higher high, higher low, higher high, market structure shift, fair value gap, breaker block. 930 with some volatility here with this wick, but stop above the high and you shouldn't have any issues. We don't need that anymore, but I'm gonna leave this fair value gap on here. I'm gonna leave it as a bullish fair value gap until we close below it. So we consolidated here, we took both sell side and we took buy side liquidity right here. Now the question is if we wanna continue to take out more buy side or if we're just gonna seek and destroy around here. ICT all in one. That's our previous day's high and our previous week's high. So right now we're just trapped between those two major points. So this is our previous week's high where we saw this massive sell-off from. And it's where we somehow managed to recover in 1, 2, 3 days. And then we already hit the target again. I mean, we sold off. That was a solid sell-off. I remember I was recording the how to find your buyers using the volume profile video. And I was using this as an example that, okay, volume is trapped up high. Very likely that we're going to take out this low. Of course, I didn't anticipate this. But yeah, it's the same thing basically. Trap traders long. And then not offer them a chance to get out at break even or to move their stops basically. They might say, oh, no, I've got long somewhere down here or down here. I'm chilling. Prices up here. They might not check their phones or their trades whatsoever. And then it just, yeah, with a snap of a finger, dumps by, yeah, almost 100 points here on ES in a couple of minutes, hours. And after doing so, yeah, we retraced and recovered everything and we consolidated and made another higher high. Let's see, I think, yeah, no. Continuing lower. We're really just playing around consolidating here. Not really going anywhere just yet. Except for in Q. NQ is really turning around here. But like I said, if we take a look at the hourly time frame on NQ, we're just retracing into yesterday's consolidation. Yes, already has done that. Right here. Already retraced into that consolidation. But yeah, a nice top formation here really with SMT divergence. Can't really complain about that. Started to sell off. Could have been a nice little scalp if you even trade between New Year's and Christmas. This stream is more for, yeah, if you have questions. What's everybody doing for New Year's Eve? And some exciting stuff, or just having a few drinks with some friends? I'm gonna go skiing. Super excited. First time skiing around New Year's Eve in Austria. Gelling is game plan. Nice. Still playing around here, going up, rejecting, going up again, going down, rejecting. Yeah, we can look at a few other charts if you guys want me to. While we're still looking here on ES to the right, let's take a look at YM and see what YM is up to. YM is basically doing what? Ah, come on. You guys see that? So this is our Asia session high that I'm working here on ES. You see that right here? We consolidate at the low. We take out sell side one last time. We move away from it. We didn't manage to take out Asia buy side. We leave behind a nice fair value gap. Retesting our breaker block right here. Entry into that buy side. Basically exactly what I have been looking for here on ES. That just happened on YM. Well, at least something. So we have YM going up, NQ going down, and ES, yeah, stuck in the middle. Not really sure where it wants to go just yet. What's really interesting to me, like looking at the Binance Bitcoin US dollar chart here on a weekly time frame. First thing that I noticed, let's get rid of these events here. See that volume? And see what price is doing. Compared to the volume right over here at the low. Compared to the volume right now, that I'm not sure if that's... Let's take a look at the Bitcoin USDT pair, if they share that same similarity. Yeah, kind of. See all the volume at the low? Whales buying compared to right now. But still, same thing. I've shared that analysis already on the Discord. We hit that 50% level. Next target, if we want to continue higher, would be 48k. This short-term high right here. We could even go on a monthly time frame. I don't like to look at the 1 hour or 15-minute time frame when it comes down to my crypto stuff. I much rather look at monthly, weekly, daily. Daily is almost most of the time a too low of a time frame for me personally. Looking at this high, it's really the next target for me. Eventually we're gonna get a monthly candle that's gonna be bearish, and that could look something like a 20% drop back down to 35k. Wouldn't be the first time. Bull market 2021. No, best rule, buy dips. Once we see a 15 to around 30 to 40% retracement, always a good opportunity to buy if you didn't DCA into Bitcoin during the bear market, like I did, and also uploaded to YouTube a couple of basically exactly 1 year ago. That's when I mentioned that I'm slowly DCAing after taking profits in crypto back into the market at the 50%, at the 61.8, at the 70% level, at the 75, and then at the 80% level, slowly just DCAing back into the market. And with DCA, I mean moving my average entry price with every new entry lower and lower and lower. My average entry is right around 20k, with my lowest entry being just at 16, something like that. Yeah, that's 0.79 or optimum trade entry. Looking at support from old highs. Yeah, slowly bringing my average entry price lower while decreasing my risk. Yeah, that's basically it. I like to buy accumulations and not trying to chase and jump into something when it's already running away from me, because that offers too much risk to the downside. I mean, from where we're at right now to this old high, that's 25% that could potentially be avoided by simply waiting for the pullback. That's just my opinion. Well, thanks, yes. Still not still not really moving anywhere. So that's a little bit of... Well, that also changed for me. I mean, last cycle I bought Bitcoin again at 50k, Just a little bit, of course, not a whole Bitcoin for 50k, but we've all been there, and I sold most of it actually right around here after buying in the accumulation and the DeFi summer during 2019, 2020. I mean, it's not bad, but the sentiment at this time, everyone was like, yeah, top's in, the top's in. And it's right around here. That's why I exited, and then FOMO caught me again, and I got in back here, took some profits, but I was looking for the 100k target, and I'm like, pull back, 100k for sure. Then I got out with some profits, almost breaking even once we reached that level again. And that's when I really decided to, once we reached the all-time high right here at 70k, I'm gonna take off 50%, let the rest run. Accumulate it during this little accumulation phase. But I also wanna, just looking at the overall statistics, this year, 2023, was the pre-election year. And during the pre-election year, a recession is basically, has the lowest probability out of all the years within the presidential cycle. And the highest probability is actually the election year that's coming up next year. So we will see how that plays out. We're kind of a little bit too early for everything here. Let me just check ES. ES is now moving. But if you are, no, never been with FTX. Right here in charts. This is my analysis on Bitcoin. In case you're interested, just make sure to join us on Discord, and then you see the crypto corner right here. So just based on what we saw last cycle, projecting that forward into this cycle, halving and all that stuff. Yeah, just read through all this text. I really try to go as detailed as I possibly can. No, I'm not on too many centralized exchanges. I'm not the biggest fan of those. Not on Binance, not on FTX, not on blah blah blah. I'm on Kraken and Qcoin. But only to buy. Afterwards, I always move it over to my MetaMask or my cold storage wallet or my ledger. Depending if I'm going to plan on using the tokens, but most of the time it's just buy and then put them somewhere where it's safe. And then try to forget about it. Come back and try to worry not too much about it. Not putting my entire life savings in there. I had a couple of friends asking me for advice with crypto and all that stuff because I'm kind of known for that in my friend circle. And then they're like, oh yeah, I've got some money laying around. Let's put it in there. And then they drop their life savings into it. And I'm telling them, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to regret it if it's going to pull back 20, 30 or 50%. And you're only going to be sitting there with 10K and you're going to be worried because you have to pay for some stuff here and there, and then you have to pay that bill, and you're running low on money, and then you have to sell it again, and it's a pain in the ass. No one cares if Bitcoin is slower. I'm telling them to slowly buy, but everyone's super excited again when once Bitcoin is sitting at 40k. Like, oh yeah, mad shit, I should have bought some, you were right. And I've been fully prepared on Bitcoin going to 0 or even collapsing down to 10 or 8k. I would have simply bought more. It's as simple as that, really. And I mentioned that also in that YouTube video. The deeper it goes, or the deeper it's retracing, the better for me. If it goes to 0, okay, yeah, well, so be it. But it's worth the risk in my eyes. Risk to reward is well worth it. Our trader's working out as well. Nice, nice closing candle. Let's take a look at gold. Let's do forex.com. Ah, nice. We're at the all-time high. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Accumulation. Question if that's accumulation or distribution. Not really sure. Just looking at the monthly time frame, looking at the bigger picture. We could even take it one step up and look at the yearly time frame. So we're gonna, 2023 is gonna form a new all-time high on gold since keeping track here at 1997. Bullish yearly fair value gap. No, I'm just kidding. Let's take a look at the 6 month. Bigger picture outlook. We basically went sideways for the past 915 days. If we look at that on the monthly time frame, been going sideways for 1,248 or for 41 months basically, not really going anywhere. So yeah, that's gonna be really interesting what happens now here on gold. We took out those equal highs right here. See if we can close above that. Let's take a look at the futures contract actually. Alright, the futures contract is not at the all-time high yet. So there's a difference. Let's look at the Pepperstone chart. Yeah, Pepperstone chart is already above that. Well, same thing for me. Gold is something that I prefer to hold as a store of value in my portfolio instead of day trading it. It's just a little bit too volatile for my style and for my liking. Well, that's where opinions separate. If it should be a lot higher, well, kind of a tough one to answer. I think it could be higher, of course, but I don't know how to answer that question really, if it should be a lot higher, because ICT says it's undervalued. Yeah, it's, for me, I like to look at it as a little hedge or store of value. Instead of having 100% of my net worth in cash on a bank account, maybe having a little safe in your house whatsoever, storing a little bit of actually physical gold instead of just buying a gold ETF. Or you simply put some Bitcoin onto a ledger. Alright, we took out that buy side here actually. We're moving, guys. Trade is still playing out. And that's what I also like about it. Yes, I like the pace that's moving. I'm in love with it. Hello Lilo. Nice to see you here. I'm doing fine. Any model you prefer? So my favorite model would be the 2022 the 2022 model, because it's the first one that I really learned and understood. But over the last couple of months, especially streaming live here on YouTube and doing all these challenges, I really discovered that for me it's not really beneficial to stick to a 100% rule-based approach. I prefer nowadays to simply go with the flow, doing my tape reading as prices moving up or down, trying to understand the narrative and the perspective, maybe from the standpoint of a market maker. At least that's what I like to call it. Where is money at? Where can money be made? Where did we accumulate? Are we at the low of the day or are we at the high of the day? Looking at the higher time frame, using fair value gaps, inversion fair value gaps, and specific key levels such as previous week's high, previous day's high, midnight open to frame my narrative. And then I simply use Confluence to enter my trades. Same for this one right here. I saw the accumulation, okay. We went below that accumulation, but instead of continuing lower with the New York Open, we immediately short, okay. Moving away from that with momentum, leaving behind a bullish inefficiency. Initially, I had another entry right here on that bullish share value gap, but we decided to close it because we also closed below that bullish share value gap. And because Nasdaq started to sell off. But yeah, my trading style has changed a lot over the last few months and years, from trying to force a 100% rule-based approach on something rather chaotic. That's never gonna look exactly the same. Every day is gonna look a little bit different compared to your textbook setup. And I think that's where your own trading skills really come into play. I mean, everybody knows what the 2022 model looks like, at least in hindsight, but most of them, fail to actually spot it live sometimes. Best way to learn for now. I mean, I'm gonna start live streaming again next year, and next year I'm also not going to stream every live stream for free on YouTube. It's gonna be only one, maximum 2 free YouTube live streams per week. The majority of the live streams will be exclusive for the WOP membership or the VIP members right here on Discord. It's much easier for me. So we're gonna have 1 or 2 couple of free YouTube live streams during the New York session per week that you can join and get a feeling of how I trade, and if that suits you, if you're interested in learning from me, at least for a specific period of time. And then, take off your training wheels and do it yourself. That's really my goal here. Ask questions, refine your plan. We're right at the 50% of our hourly bearish value gap right here. 20 minutes left for the 10 a.m. candle. Take a look at the 15-minute candle. 15-minute bullish. Oh, okay, that overlaps perfectly with that 1 hour. So we trap traders short. That was my idea for going into this long. Then we immediately moved away from that, closing above this bearish fair value gap here. So at this point in time, if we look at this bearish fair value gap right here, just tapering here on the 15-minute time frame, we close above, and after we close above, we retest this, now a inversion fair value gap. We hold support, and look how the bodies respect this 15-minute inversion fair value gap and continue higher. So now we have 1, 2, we even close above this 15-minute. So let's say we just do 15-minute analysis right now. We have our inversion fair value gap right here. We have our higher time frame and 15-minute bullish fair value gap that has been filled in. We reached the consequent encouragement and moved away from that aggressively, not respecting bearish fair value gaps that we would have potentially used to maybe continue into further sell side. Instead, we close above and we use it as support. still getting rejected off this initial bearish fair value gap here that has been used for resistance here at 5 a.m., 7:30, and then again at 8:30 a.m. New York local time. So the market opens up, we take buy side, and we still get rejected here. I'm only looking at candle bodies here. And it took until 10:15, so the first 15-minute candle after or during that new hour, for us to close above this initial bearish fair value gap. And now we just retested the high of this inversion fair value gap, not going to leave behind a new bullish volume imbalance. That's what I like to call immediate rebalance. So instead of simply continuing to the upside from the open, taking buy side, leaving behind a bullish fair value gap, price is delivering very efficiently because it's not leaving behind a fair value gap, which is a inefficiency that we have to come back for at a later point in time. So we retest that previous candle's high right here, not leaving behind a fair value gap. So now we hit this 15-minute bearish. We're still overall inside our bigger picture, 1 hour bearish fair value gap. Gonna leave that on our chart. We took that high. And we still have our equal high Asia buy side right here. Equal highs. 1, 2, 3, 4 equal highs. Another set of equal highs. We will see. So that's our 15-minute analysis that we just looked at. So even here on the 5-minute time frame now, we see we've been talking about this 15-minute inversion fair value gap here. And I'm not pulling it out of thin air. We actually used this fair value gap before. That's always what I like to look for if I'm looking at a fair value gap. I want to see that this area has actually been referenced a couple of times. And what did we do here? We filled it in to the tick right here and we moved away from it. We rechecked from it again and then we hit the high again of our bearish fair value gap and we took sell side liquidity again. Alright, so this fair value gap at this point in time is more important to me than, for example, this one right here, because we've never hit that, we never visited it. So that's going to be my first area where I'm going to be looking for resistance, or once we close above it, for potential support. This is our 15-minute fair value gap. If we bring that down to the 5-minute time frame now, look what we have right here, perfectly overlapping with our 15-minute inversion. A 5-minute bullish. That's how I like to stack my confluence for higher probability setups. Of course, that never guarantees a winning trade. Nothing really guarantees a winning trade. We all happen to lose some of our trades. That's why risk management is so important. Yeah, let's see what happens inside that area that we've been talking about. Let's add one contract here and see how it goes. If we immediately close below this area, wouldn't be the best case scenario really. I'm gonna place my stop loss right here. Target buy side, we have our midnight level right here, our 15-minute bearish fair value gap, 15-minute inversion, 5-minute bullish. Right here, this would be our 5-minute inversion fair value gap, but the 15-minute works better here. We tapped the inefficiency, we filled that in, bouncing off our 15-minute inversion fair value gap right here. Let's see if that momentum can hold up. If I see this candle or the next candle immediately close below our bullish fair value gap that I used to take a long entry, well, I'm going to take off some risk and likely exit that position already. A little doji. He says when the government is going to create a digital US dollar, there's already a system like it. It's called Fed now. It's only available to institutions. Digital USD. I mean, isn't it already digital? I mean, what do you do to check how much money you've got? Do you go into your storage vault to your trusted bank and count dollar bills? Or do you check an app on your phone? It's telling you, oh yeah, you've got this amount of money in your fictional account. Then you have a little plastic card that you use to tap and pay, or even your phone. It's already kind of digital. Let's see, we're moving away nicely from our bullish value gap here, but I really want to see that continuation now. Let's take a look at NQ actually and see what NQ is up to. YM already delivered exactly what I was looking for here on ES. We've spoken about that, and let's take a look at NQ. NQ. Also starting to pull back now. Interesting. Yeah, I mainly only trade ES. What mainly? I only trade ES, especially going into next year. So I took an entry. Where did I take my first entry? Right here. Target up here. Stop loss really. One tick below the slow. So not even a one-to-one risk to reward if we're being honest. And another entry, I took it right here, but I close. I mean, I can put my executions on here. Because we close below the bullish value gap. Not really to, yeah, that's how I like to cut my risk. So I took my first entry right here with this volume imbalance. Then I saw, okay, this didn't work out so well. And now we even close below the bullish value gap that we just left behind. That's usually when I like to take risk. We open with a bearish volume imbalance here as well, but still in with one position here. So not closing the entire trade, just managing my risk actively. All right, then we started to consolidate. It got boring, but then we continued into my initial anticipated direction. I have an inefficiency to enter on. I use it as an opportunity with my stop loss just, basically right around this short-term low. And we move away, continue up higher from that area. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen at the midnight level. Like I said, from my entry right here. Where was the entry at? Yeah, right here on this fair value gap. 5 points. 5.5 points to our buy side level. And from the entry right here. That's also 5 points. And we shared this setup right here without any issues. We've been doing our analysis on the 15, then we dropped it down to the 5, and we saw, okay, we have our 15-minute inversion perfectly aligned with our 5-minute bullish. If that's not a good opportunity to take, then I don't know what is. I really wouldn't, I think you could call it a SilverBullet entry. We have at least what I call a SilverBullet setup. We have a strong drawn liquidity. At least that's what I assume. Of course, sometimes your drawn liquidity is simply wrong, and that's okay too. But yeah, bullish share value gap, inefficiency, this would be our market structure shift. Not that we specifically need it for a SilverBullet setup. All you really need is a good drawn liquidity and a nice discount to enter on. So we just closed to the tick at our midnight open level, and also note that we closed above. Did we? No, we didn't. So let me take a look at the 15 minute is going to close in 10 minutes, and the hourly candle is also going to close in 10 minutes. We're right at the high of our 1 hour bearish value gap. That's actually where we saw the resistance here, so that has been filled in completely now. Keep that in mind. Always make sure to be aware of the higher time frame. I'm going to move my stop to break even here, and the other stop five points, 4835.5, 4840.5. 5 points. 5 handles a day. That's all you need. Don't need much more. Let's see if we have any questions on Discord. Nope, no new questions on Discord. Nothing on YouTube either. 10 views at the moment. Guys, I'd really appreciate if you give a thumbs up on the stream. That really helps with putting it out there. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. This is rather a spontaneous live stream. Decided to jump on a stream because I had some free time. Because I was curious. Yesterday, after, I think I went on vacation. At least that's a chart vacation. That's what I started to call it. Last week after that, major sell-off. So I didn't engage or didn't even look at the chart on Thursday, Friday, and then not on Monday, day after Christmas, and not on Tuesday, not on Wednesday. Yeah, no, on Wednesday I did. That actually was my birthday, and I decided to take a trade. Played out very nicely, so that was nice. But yeah, I think you get the idea. It was good. I enjoyed it. But today I just felt like, yeah, let's do another live stream. It's been so long. Let's see what we can do. But I'm also not looking for the biggest 20-point move here. I'm only going to target my 5 points, and that's basically gonna be it. I'm gonna leave one runner into my buy side liquidity target. But I think 250 bucks in profit. Of course, depending on your account size, 1%, 0.5%. Especially right after Christmas, 2 days before New Year's Eve, or at least, yeah. We have 2 more trading days, including today's trading day, during 2023. I think we really don't have to push the limits too much. 5 points, low hanging fruit targets, and done. No worries at all. We're rejecting off the midnight level. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Perfect rejection of that midnight level. And keep in mind, we looked at the hourly time frame. We filled in this entire hourly bearish value gap here, so keep that in mind. 15-minute time frame. NQ filled this bearish value gap right here. But of course, I'm still sticking to the long. Still gonna use this bullish value gap as potential invalidation, but I'm also only gonna stick around until 5:05 p.m. my time. I'm gonna stay in the street in this trade. You guys know where my target is. I'm going to invalidate or at least take off one contract here once we close below this bullish fair value gap. It's really not what I was looking forward to see. I'm also gonna be, well, I mean, we're gonna see it right now. That's the last 5-minute candle before we get a new hourly candle. And I ideally would like to see expansion with that new hourly candle, hit our targets, and then doesn't matter what's gonna happen after that. We simply close our trading view, get on with our day. Yeah, and call it a day. That's at least my plan. Well, we're not there yet. I mean, so far, yeah, we got the right idea, continuing off this bullish fair value gap, but that only moved 3.25 points. We didn't really have the opportunity yet to target proper buy-side liquidity, or just save on 5 points. And there we start to break down. So I'm out of this trade now, 10:55. That's interesting. On a 1-minute time frame, or even on a 2-minute time frame, this would be a market structure shift. We form higher highs, higher low. We close below that. We could be looking at a potential short, perfectly rejecting off the midnight level and our 1-hour bearish fair value gap after filling that in also perfectly. So that's interesting. Still not really too confident that we're gonna go short. Of course, the narrative would fit kind of. I mean, of course, I would have liked to see buy side to be cleared, but we just filled in our 1-hour bearish fair value gap here to the tick. Right here, perfectly to the tick. We filled that in. The new hourly candle is going to close in 2.5 minutes. Where did we reject from on the 5-minute time frame? Perfectly. We never closed above our midnight level. We touched it and moved away from it. The only thing that's still going against the short is that we didn't take out the high of the day. But that's basically the only issue. Let's see. Still gonna look at this bullish fair value gap as invalidation. This might just be a quick stop pump before we continue higher. Doesn't have to be a reversal. One-minute time frame. Can watch it on a 1 minute here. And see where we're gonna close now. Let's watch it on a 5-minute. 1.5 minutes to go before this candle is going to close. I mean, theoretically, we could look at this almost as a market structure shift. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Break in structure right here. But therefore I would like to see it to actually also invalidate the bullish fair value gap and also our 15-minute inversion fair value gap after just having filled in all these inefficiencies above. So let's see, we have about 30 seconds remaining on this 5-minute candle and on this hourly candle. Let's see where that's going to go. Ten seconds to go. We closed below the VWAP, back at our new day opening gap. So really, yeah, let's take a look at NQ here. Check that off, that bearish value gap. 11 a.m. new hourly candle. We filled in the hourly bearish value gap. If you like to take this short, if you even trade today, I think there's a good chance that we could go back to the low of the day here right at 9 a.m. Maybe using this inversion fair value gap here now, using it as resistance this time. But I also wouldn't be surprised or shocked if we're gonna continue higher here and we just had a little retracement before we continue up higher. Disregarding bullish and inversion fair value gaps here left and right, like we did right here, until we hit that buy side target. Would be a tough decision. Let's see on the account today, account history. History. We lost the 28th of December, 130, 280, 0.25%. Let's see. Let's just do this paper trade short, because basically this is a 2022 model. We target liquidity, place our stop loss right here at the high. The only thing that I don't like about this 2022 model is that we did not take out external liquidity first. So that would have happened if we would have seen continuation higher here. So higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So we take that high of the day, we shift structure, retrace, and then we continue lower. So this would be a internal 2022 model. They still work, but I most of the time prefer trading from the extremes instead of trading inside the range. Could place our stop loss also at the midnight level to reduce some risk. We could even place it just one tick above this candle's high. If we continue lower using this new inversion fair value gap, we're gonna do it. From here, we don't have to go back into this range. I'm gonna take all these short-term lows out here. Otherwise, we're gonna find some support here and continue higher. And then it doesn't matter if we have our stop loss here at 4838 or at 4839. That's not gonna make a difference. At least in my opinion. Let's take a look at the 15. 15, 1 hour. I will simply stick to the 5, just because I like the 5-minute time frame so much. And in 1 minute it's even clearer. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Consolidation right at the midnight level, and then we move away from that aggressively, leaving behind bearish inefficiency, shifting structure. But like I said, it's inside, it's not that external half the day that I'm most of the time looking for. But still, it's a little fractal 2022 model inside today's range. Let's see if there are any more questions, otherwise I'm going to end the stream soon. I have to get a few other things done. Now it's 5 p.m. already. For a little special holiday live stream. I think we didn't do too bad today. I mean, price action really didn't allow us for much. Didn't allow much, at least right after the open. We spent first half an hour, 35 minutes consolidating here. Now we have a new bearish value gap here, paired with the inversion fair value gap on both the 5 and 15 minute time frame. I'm still on the long on my funding pips CFD challenge account. Like I said, I have enough breathing room there. I didn't risk much. Of course not, because it's basically my holiday. And I just did it for the fun of it. And because I have a 10% max drawdown. Compared to the standard futures challenge, where you have a 5 to 4% max drawdown. And most of the time it's also trailing, so that's why I'm not trading my future funded account at this point in time. We're going to do that again next year. Let's see, any questions on YouTube? Yes, the VIP membership comes with the ICT All-in-One indicator here. You can either just get access to the ICT All-in-One by itself. There's a 25% discount code on a... Is it 25%? Yeah, so if you go to the wop.com shop, actually let me do it here. There's also a free trial where you can test it out for 1 day. And share the links here quickly on YouTube. Just let it load up here quickly. Dashboard. So here you can get access to a 1 day free trial for the ICT All-in-One. And there are currently discount codes until the end of the year. Let me just find out. So with the discount code VIP15, you can save 15% on the monthly VIP membership. So that's the VIP15 discount code. And if you only want access to the ICT All-in-One indicator, there's a 25% discount on the monthly, yearly, and lifetime fee for it, simply by using the code I'm typing in now, ICT in all capital letters. Yeah, that's about it. Let's see. Let's check out Discord. No, nothing new here. We're seemingly continuing lower. Right here, we're already in profit. NQ is also continuing lower. Yeah, I think there we go. There's the collapse. Trap traders long. Shifted structure, use the inversion fair value gap on both the 5 and 15 minute time frame to continue lower. Let's see if we can hit that sell side liquidity pool. Confluence was there. We saw that we just hit or that we filled in the entire bearish value gap here, rejected off our midnight level. So we just took that low. Yeah, we will see if we can hit our final target down here. So from our entry, we'll just be looking for 5 points or something like that, and that would be right here at the consequent encouragement of our 1 hour bullish fair value gap. Where's it gone? Right here. 250 bucks be my target. Alright guys, but that's gonna be the end of the live stream. I have to take my dog for a walk and do some other things now. So unless there are any more questions, feel free to join us on Discord and ask me there. I'm still active on Discord, but until next year, I'm not gonna do daily live streams anymore. Tomorrow is gonna be the last trading day of the year as well. I think it's a good opportunity to take some time off and to contemplate and come up with a trading plan for the new year 2024. That's certainly what I'm doing right now. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about that in a new video. I'm right now editing a video where I'm recapping the price action from last week. So from Thursday, Friday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I think. I've already got it recorded. I just have to finish editing it, and then I'm gonna upload that onto YouTube in case you're interested in that. And yeah, thanks very much for watching today, guys. Really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this little special holiday live stream. Let's see, in terms of this trade, so on my funding pips account, I'm still in the long. I still think it can hit the SPY side, even though we just saw this retracement. While here on my paper trading account, just based off this little internal 2022 market structure shift paired with the bearish share value gap, we could also see this continue lower. But like I said, it's a low risk trade that I took, at least long, on my funding pips account, and I have enough room to breathe to take a loss. Alright guys, thanks very much. I will be back next year for another live stream, so Happy New Year's. Bye, take care.